Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing another Shop My Stash. I'm trying to film at least one a week for you guys because I have so many items that I just want to explore, that I want to revisit and love again. And if I'm not loving it, I'm getting rid of it. So far there's only been one item that I'm pulling from my collection, but I'm hoping that with time I declutter a little bit. If you guys want to see what products I use to get this look, and if you want to know what I did, what I used, let's go. I am going to be using my Dior Forever foundation, and the shade I have is 3 Warm Olive. I remember being a huge fan of this foundation, and it's just aight now. So this gave me light to medium coverage. Like I can still see the freckling on my skin and the sun damage. It did even out my complexion. So I am just going to take another pump of that and apply it in this area, which is where I like to see more coverage. The rest of my face I can do. The rest of my face I don't mind. It's just really this, and a pump was actually too much. I could have done half a pump, so I'm just going to use this to build it up here. I'm trying to think of my feelings about this foundation. What I do remember is that the original was my go-to. They changed it so that you'd have a matte version and a glowy version. I think the shades were just never the same, and 4 was too dark for me. I kind of need like an in-between a 3 and 4. So I'm just letting this dry a little bit, and I'm going to blend. For sure I'm going to need a full coverage concealer because Mama's got circles. So far not bad, guys. For my concealer I'm going to take this Smashbox concealer, and this is in medium cool beach. This was one of my favorite concealers. It seems like everything I'm picking today smells like paint. Alright guys, so I am going to let this sit for a little bit, and then we'll come back to continue the rest of this look. Alright guys, so I'm just going to blend this out with my Juno & Co sponge, which is still probably my favorite sponge. I think it looks good. I think that I like the coverage, I like the finish. No complaints. So I'm going to use my Chantecaille setting powder, which I haven't used in forever, and I'm using the puff. I'm going to have powder all over my sweater. I remember not really caring for this powder. It is a pricier setting powder, and I want to say that my preference was the Chanel. Yeah, the Chanel powder. They did change it, so I haven't tried the new formulation. I don't think I really want to. But the old school Chanel powder was my jam. I recall not liking this powder because it used to pill the foundation, but I'm not seeing that. It doesn't add any coverage, which I wasn't expecting it to, so far we're okay. For my bronzer, I'm going to use a product that you either love or hate. So this is the Laguna bronzer by NARS, but this is their reformulated version. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a sheerer formula, and people were just either loving it or hating it. I remember I did like it. I didn't have any issues with it, but I think that the problem for some people was the pigmentation, that they felt that it was lacking in that area. But as you guys can see, the pigment is coming through. But it could be because I'm using a denser brush, but I like the way that it looks. I don't I don't know how I feel about this foundation now, to be honest with you guys. I don't think it, I know it's not one I would repurchase again, but just looking at it, like, I just feel like it does nothing for my skin. Well, let's just finish off. I don't think today's gonna be a good makeup day for me. C'est la vie. I am going to take this St. Barb's highlighter by NARS, and I actually like to use this as my blush. I would always use this as my blush. It just adds some warmth, some glow, some color to my complexion. Yeah, I think this is saving the day. I used to use this a ton when it first came out. I mean, you guys can see it's kind of, woohoo. I need to glue this back on. It's a little beat up just from the love I gave it, but I just love how highlighted and bronzy it made my skin look. And honestly, I feel like it gave me what I was missing. I'm just going to take my bronzer brush and run it down the sides of my nose, because you guys know I've been saying that I lose my nose. So I have decided to go in with a little bit of blush. This is Isadora by NARS. I used to love this so much. I used to wear it all the freaking time. And it's just going to add a glow to the cheek, like a pinky glow. I know, I got glow going on already, but I don't care. I'm going to be using my MAC Paint Pot in Laying Low. So the palette I'm going to be playing with is one of my favorites, and this I would not declutter. This is the Mercury Retrograde by Huda Beauty. This was my, or is my favorite Huda palette. I am going to start off by taking this shade here and popping that all over my lid. This palette, I remember when it came out, I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty, you know, blah, 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 blah. And not thinking anything else of it until I saw it in store. Guys, when I saw it in store, it was game over. I swatched it, I looked at it, and I loved it so much. And I remember I was working and I left work and I just could not stop thinking about the palette. So I ended up giving in and I bought it, and it was my favorite purchase of that year. So such a beautiful palette, and as you guys can see, this is giving me like lilac-y, pinky vibes, and that's what this palette is. I am going to take this shade here and I am going to apply that into my crease. Oh, it's so pretty. I know I've said this in other videos, but I really have been enjoying playing and looking through my collection. It's just, it reminds me of everything that I used to love, or everything that has excited me, and that excites me because, you know, when you're constantly seeing new things, it's really easy to just get excited about everything, you know, because everyone hypes it up. But then to be able to look at what you have and look at your purchases and be excited about that, like it's different. I am going to take this shade here, and I don't know if I want to, I'm gonna do a winged liner, and then we're gonna come back to finish this look. All right guys, so I took Burnish by Melt Cosmetics, which is this beautiful burgundy brown shade. And as you guys can see, I did a wing liner. I didn't take it in all the way, but let's go back to this guy. So I am going to take this bottom shade here, and using the same brush, I'm going to just take this color and then place it in the outer corner. And I'm pushing it onto my lid and then blending back. So I'm just going to look straight into my mirror, and I'm going to bring that berry shade just a little higher into that crease. This is one of the best palettes that she has ever made. I'm just going to take my foundation brush and clean up these edges to make sure that they're nice and sharp. This is how we're gonna leave it for today. Let me freshen up my brows, do mascara, and then we'll come back to see how I'm feeling about this look. But I almost feel like I just want to keep it very simple. Alright guys, I am back. I used my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray to set my face. And on my lips, I have my Lisa Eldridge Velvet Beauty Lip Pencil and Lipstick. And I'm feeling berry today. So let's quickly recap and talk. I knew that this palette was not going to be a declutter. I knew that it was one that I finally took the plastic off. I love this palette so much. I've loved it from the first time I saw it in person. Not so much in the images, but in person and swatching it. Like, I love this palette so much, and I'm looking forward to using it again because today's look is more natural, and it's really just, I have meetings today. I have to be in front of the camera, and I don't want it to go on there with like crazy purple makeup. I feel like what I have right now is a great balance for meetings or work. So if this is a palette that you have been lusting over, I highly recommend it. It's such a beautiful palette. It's smooth and pigmented, and the colors are just so buttery and easy to blend, and the glitters and pigments are just beautiful. So I highly recommend this one. Okay, the Dior Forever foundation. It looks good. It looks pretty. I don't think I would repurchase this one. I found that I needed to really build the coverage around the cheeks, and it is a medium to full coverage foundation, but for the price, I feel like there's other foundations that get the job done without using as much product as I did here. So I do remember I loved it. I do remember that I was a little put off by the reformulation and the shades, and I remember why. So I'll use it, but I won't repurchase it. The Chantecaille setting powder, this one has surprised me, guys, because I hated it. I hated it. I have to say I like it. I think it looks just very natural on the skin. Granted, I did use a setting spray on top of it, but I felt like it did set my foundation. It didn't pill. It didn't add any additional coverage, but there wasn't anything about this that made me hate it, and I remember hating it. So I will continue to use this, and I'm happy to report that feelings have changed. My NARS blush. This was in Isadora. This blush was so loved that I had to hide it because I was using it all the time. And I do love just like how rosy it makes the cheek and how glowy it does. If you're somebody that has texture, this is going to enhance texture. Like, it's just, it has a sheen to it. It will enhance texture. But overall, NARS blushes are really beautiful, long wearing, pigmented. So still love it. The Melt Cosmetic gel liners, I highly recommend. They're so amazing. Creamy, long wearing, they don't transfer. They're just great products. Smashbox concealer, I love this. I love this concealer so much. It's right up there with my Makeup Forever, and people don't really give this too much credit. Like, it is a great coverage, hydrating product, and it doesn't crease. Like, my eyes are set, and the shade for me gives me coverage, but also corrects the darkness under my eyes, so I'm not having to use several products at once. It's so creamy and hydrating. Like, it feels cool on the skin, and I really do love this. It's one that I will continue to repurchase. It's one that I will continue to use, and it's just so freaking good. The last thing I'm going to tell you guys is that I have on the new Extreme Climax mascara today. I actually filmed a demo for you guys and a review, but I'm gonna just give you the cheat. Get it. It's good. It is a little fussy, so I think that you guys should definitely watch the video to make sure that you get all of the details on this, but I mean, look at my lashes. It's fussy. So check out the review. I thought I was gonna have a bad makeup day, and I'm not. In terms of the bronzer, I forgot about the bronzers. I like them. I mean, I love NARS. I love NARS products. I'm not a huge fan of all of their products, but overall I think that they are a very solid and stable line, and I love it. So I'm having a good makeup day, and I'm glad it turned out that way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I do upload 3 videos a week. Like this video. It's a great way to support my channel. And did you subscribe? Are you subscribed? If you're not, hit that subscription button. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.